Hello, Human Girl followers and people who have no idea who Human Girl is. I am Abigail Leal, aka Human Girl, looking very, very human today, very sweaty, hair all over the place. I just finished a little biking trip around White Rock Lake here in Dallas. It's my favorite go-to spot if I ever want to have a little me time or nature time. Fortunately, it is no longer 105 and sweltering, it's only like 99 and sweltering. So we're getting better, we're heading towards fall. We're gonna start pulling out the flannel once it hits about 88. So we're looking forward to that, our pumpkin spice lattes. But anyway, that is not what I got on here to talk about. I haven't posted a while in either my YouTube video or my blog, and I think that's mainly because I was out of town and I was sick for a few days as well. But I think mainly I was posting very consistently, and I intend to do that in the future, but I was hitting a place where I realized I needed to make sure that I was receiving as much as giving and putting in as much as I was putting out, in the sense that I don't think I can have much to give at all unless I'm receiving something. And on that note, this is going to be a short one today, but as I'm just sitting here and I'm thinking about the changes in myself and the changes in my life since just in the past couple of months specifically, but really since I moved to Dallas about 7 months ago, coming up on 8 months now, and I have changed a lot. There are things that I no longer believe that I used to, that I actually believe that I didn't used to. There are things I'm questioning that I never thought I would question. There are a lot of things in my life that are changing, and I'm changing with them. And there's this idea that I've realized that the people, whether positive, and most all of them have been positive, or what you might call quote-unquote negative, which I don't like putting it in terms of positive or negative because it sounds too black and white, but the influence of the people around me and the people that I come into contact with, whether intentionally, whether voluntarily or involuntarily, and the effect that they have on me. And I can trace how multiple I've been. I can trace the changes that have come about in my whether the development of my personality or the changes in my, even just simple things like my vernacular, or what I'm willing to do or not do now, and where my boundaries are. And so as I examine the changes in my life, it's impossible not to see the common thread of realizing how people have molded me, impacted me. And you know that cliche phrase, you are who you hang out with. And I'm realizing, even it's so subconscious that unintentionally people can build you up or tear you down. And I was realizing today that unless the importance of, because I was telling the Lord, I was like, Jesus, I want to be like you, because I can see many comparisons between, so just, I'm highly adaptable, I'm very sensitive, but I think anyone in general, you kind of laugh and you kind of realize, oh, I picked up this mannerism from my friend, oh, I picked up this word or phrase from my friend. And we kind of chuckle about that. Even married couples, people talk about them even going to look like each other because they lived together for so long. And so I was realizing the little things I picked up here and there from the people or the culture that I've surrounded myself with, whether voluntarily or involuntarily. And I was realizing that as amazing as the influence of good people are, and as instructive and challenging in a potentially healthy way, the influence of people who I don't agree with are as well, that I am prone and open to be tossed and turned by every person I meet and by every situation I encounter, unless God is my primary influence. As I was telling the Lord, God, I just want to be like you most of all. I was thinking, oh, I'm kind of resembling this person a little more, and kind of resembling this person a little more, just in terms of what they're bringing out of me. That's already, I'm not changing necessarily to become in the image of these people, but I am starting to resemble just some of the perspectives and ideas, or just the perspectives of the people around me, which again is totally natural. But it's why you have to be so careful about who you surround yourself with. But all that to say, I was realizing that I don't want to resemble anyone or anything around me more than I do the Lord. That if He's not my primary influence, and people and circumstances and culture and experiences and mindsets are secondary, then I'm going to start resembling anything and everyone around me. I'm not going to have that solid foundation of the Lord is my primary my primary inspiration, my primary influence. That if I'm not spending the first few minutes of the day and the last few minutes of the day with him, if he's not bookending every experience that I have, so to speak, then he's not my, other people are here and my primary influence, that he's somewhere down there. And I got this picture. I see a lot of things in pictures. I'm a very visual person. If you read any of my poetry, you know that by now. And I was seeing a picture of me in the group of people and a set of experiences just getting like washed and washed and washed, so to speak, like I was standing under a waterfall or under a fire hydrant. Like they were pointing a fire hydrant at me and I was just getting stoked in just the aroma of their atmosphere. And then I saw myself running back to God and getting refreshed and getting, like washed, the Bible verse, washed in the water of the word, so to speak. And then I saw myself like using God as a little fix, is what I mean to say. So like, my primary influence, my primary environment and atmosphere was all of the stuff in my world that I have chosen or not chosen. But even if I haven't chosen it, I can't get away from it. And so I saw myself just soaking up all of that like a sponge, and then realizing, hey, maybe I need another perspective too. And so I ran to the Lord. I got my tank full, kind of like when you're out of gas, you're like, man, I need to stop and get gas. And so I ran, got my tank full of gas, so to speak, from the Lord, and then ran back, and then got depleted again. So I ran back to God, got filled up again, ran back to people, got depleted again, ran back to God, all this sort of thing. And so it's like, instead of using God as a fix, I was realizing I'm starting to use God as a fix, that I run to him and I run to the Bible and I run to prayer when I need something, or when I realize I just feel dirty, or I feel disconnected from him, or I feel like, hey, I'm just a little confused right now. And again, it doesn't even have to be if I'm around people that don't even hold the same values. It's just, people in general are wonderful and God uses them, and friendship is one of my highest values in life. But if that is your primary world and God is just the fix that you run to get refreshed, and then you go back and your tank gets empty after a while and you just use him as kind of that genie to fill you up, that's not a relationship. That's a doctor's visit that you occasionally go to. And so I was realizing, hey, Lord, I don't want to use you as a fix. I want you to be the primary source, and then other people are just the icing on the cake. And so I don't know if that makes sense, or if that word picture makes sense, but it was what I was thinking, and just wanted to share that with y'all. Just it ended up being as short as I thought it would be, but yeah, anyway, I love you guys, and I look forward to posting more regularly from now on.